My name is Sergio DaSilva. I'm 27 years old. I've been training for about 12 years in mixed martial arts. Like a lot of people actually, just as a kid, I liked, like Ninja Turtles and the Karate Kid, Three Ninjas and all that, and I thought I was a ninja. So I took up Taekwondo and Judo. That's where I started. Well, I trained in Taekwondo and Judo until I was like 10 or 11. Then I went back to Brazil with my family. I took some time off of martial arts and I just was playing other sports, soccer, football, basketball. And after I graduated from high school, there was really nothing. I'm very competitive and I wanted to continue competing. And there was no wrestling in my college. I went to a local community college. So I just wanted to take on something that I could compete in. So I, started training Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah.
And that was probably, when he first opened up the school,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. I think he was here for a couple, maybe 8 months, less than a year. And I came here. I used to do some no-gi stuff in a local gym in Queens, Rhino, and it was really mostly no-gi, really not traditional gi. And I came to Shaolin and I started from white belt. Yeah, it was definitely a rude awakening. I came in here as a white belt, never put on a gi in my life, jiu-jitsu gi in my life. So I came in here and pretty much got my ass kicked. And just kept coming ever since. And I made it. I'm very competitive, like I said, so I just made it a personal goal to improve every day during every class. And things started to make sense for me. Believe it or not, I wasn't actually. I've had my first amateur fight without ever having trained jiu-jitsu. just street brawling. Actually, that's one of the big reasons why I came to Shaolin. I remember the first fight. I think I fought a kid that was like a D1 wrestler or something. And I remember it was for New Breed fight in Jersey, and I knocked him down, flash knocked him 10 seconds. And after that, he just took me down. I couldn't hit the escape. I felt like I was a fish out of water. So I knew I had to come and learn a little bit of the ground game. Yeah, well, Loro, I tell everybody this, and I don't mean it. Loro to me is like a brother, probably even more than that. But I tell a lot of people, he's one of the most underrated guys I know, especially at 135. I don't see there's anybody in the world that we've trained. I'm not going to give any names, but I've trained with really top level guys from 135 to 185 on big events, guys that are fighting the UFC, WEC, Bellator, really top shows. And by far, Loro can compete with any guy at 35, and it's really humbling to train with him. I learn a lot. He helps me a lot. Basically, put me under his wing, and every day I learn so much with him. And well, Shaolin is I don't even have to speak about Shaolin. Shaolin is amazing, the best jiu-jitsu, and I think that you can coach, instructor, you can come here and know nothing and then evolve so much if you actually follow the protocol and listen to the things he tells you to do. And so I know jiu-jitsu, I don't have to go anywhere to learn. I can come here to Shaolin and I know I can't go anywhere and can get better training. But for MMA, like you said, he's very traditional to jiu-jitsu. So MMA, I go to Long Island MMA. I train with the guys over there with Greg DiPasquale and Ryan LaFleur. A lot of tough guys there, Dennis Bermudez, and Loro goes out there, Davidius, Tervicius, a lot of local guys too that are coming up really good. Some amateur guys, Al Jones, really tough guy, I'm sure he's going to make a lot of noise. Chris Wade, he's fighting in ring combat coming up, he's very tough. And just a lot of good guys there. I hope I'm not forgetting anyone, but a lot of good guys. Brian Michelino too. A lot of tough guys in Long Island MMA. And those guys open the doors for me and for Loro, and can't thank them enough. We go there 2 or 3 times a week, and we get some really good training. And a lot of people think it's not just wrestling. It's like MMA, striking. Greg does a phenomenal job. He's like the head instructor there between him and Ryan LaFleur in the UFC. But Greg really puts a lot of time into the guys, and it's like a family over there. Well, I train Muay Thai. I actually, I haven't been there in like a month or so. I've been doing mostly wrestling and Jiu-Jitsu. But I train Muay Thai at Sitan in Queens, Sitan Muay Thai with Master Aziz. And a lot of their guys are really tough. I mean, people who know the sport of Muay Thai have heard about Sitan. Really, really traditional Muay Thai, really tough guy, you know. They have a lot of good fighters and you can really learn a lot of those guys. So that's where I'm training my Muay Thai. I also train, even though I got an MMA, my boxing with Ayanthi Gunawardana too. Very, very good instructor. And that's pretty much it. Strength and conditioning, I'm training at Peak Performance, who, you know, with Joe Dowdell, Jeff, and Joe Larson, really, really great strength and conditioning guys. Yeah, I mean, pretty much I'm fortunate, you know, I have a family business and you know, lucky that I get to train full time and, you know, really put time into improving, you know. Whew, that's actually the hardest part of it all. Everybody's like, oh, what's the hardest thing for you? You know, is it wrestling, is it Jiu-Jitsu, is it Muay Thai? But the hardest thing is just juggling, you know, between family time and you know, MMA and Jiu-Jitsu. I mean, I'm not complaining, don't get me wrong, but you know, I'm competing against, you know, top level guys, you know, whether it be MMA or Jiu-Jitsu, you know, top guys. A lot of these guys, you know, are full time living in the gym, you know, especially in Jiu-Jitsu. I feel like these guys, a lot of younger guys are just like training 5-6 times a day. Like that's all they do, you know. They eat, breathe, and sleep Jiu-Jitsu, and you know, me at the end of the day, after I train, you know, 2 times, I still got to go to amusement parks, and you know. So now a lot of times I'm cutting weight and I'm like at Six Flags, you know, and I gotta eat, you know, my kids are eating ice cream and shoving it down my face and I'm cutting weight, you know. So that's really hard. I don't want to say no to them. So between juggling the family and the competition and the training, that's probably the hardest thing for me. But that's that's my, you know, basically I feel like that's my foundation and I get so much better every time I compete, you know, and I don't think it could hurt, you know. Not your record, and you know, it's good to always keep competing. You know, you always stay in shape. You're always eating healthy if you're competing. You know, you get to see the best. You know, if you can go up against the best guys in the world in Jiu-Jitsu, by the time you know you get into an MMA fight, you've seen it all. Yeah, I'm very fortunate. I know both of them. You know, competition Jiu-Jitsu and MMA is really hard to come across. You know, good sponsors, and I'm fortunate to have people who support me and believe in me and are backing me. Actually, some of you guys just wrote about Ronan. You know, they've been amazing to me. Doug, they're my key sponsors. You know, they're actually this rash guard from Ronan, and you know, they really take care of me. Any competitions, you know, and they always hook me up with keys and you know, make sure I'm always, you know, set up. Peak Performance, which I mentioned to you, they sponsor me too. Joe Dowdell for strength and conditioning. Future Legend, those guys have been always, you know, always supportive to me, and to Loro, and you know, a lot of the guys. Jersey Pump and Gamma. Gamma's really good too. You know, I know they support a lot of the local guys, and yeah, that's about it. So first in Jiu-Jitsu, my goal is to be a black belt world champion. You know, that's really what I want to be. I want to be a world champion every belt I can, but I know as a blue belt I got really close. I came in third, and but my ultimate goal in Jiu-Jitsu is to be a world champion, black belt world champion. And MMA, I just want to, you know, take it as far as I can. Keep training hard, you know, keep taking good, you know, tough fights and fight against anyone, the toughest guys, and hopefully make it to the big show. I get sick even thinking about it. Everybody's always like, how the hell do you make 25? How do you make 20? I've had 2 fights at 25, you know. It's just, I feel like it's just mental really by the time you get down there. You know, if you have a pretty clean diet, which I do for the most part, man, it's not easy. You know, I'm not a tall guy, but for 25, I'm kind of tall. I'm 5'7", so that's pretty tall for a 25er. And I think just if you keep your diet clean, you know, mentally prepare yourself. It's not easy, but you know, nothing that's really tough. You know, that's worthwhile. I know that. Just want to thank obviously Shaolin and Loro first and foremost before anybody. Then Greg Pasquale, Long Island MMA, Ryan Flair, and all my teammates at Long Island MMA. You know, Dennis Bermudez, Chris Wade, Brian Michelino. Al, and my teammates at Vitor, Shaolin, Jay, Chris, Ben, Alex, and all the other guys too. You know, it's too many to name, but the guys that push me every single day. You know, before a fight, after a fight, these guys that are, you know, constantly competing and you know, helping me every day. You know.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for speaking with us. You know, we look forward to seeing you in the cage again. And, you know, I've seen you compete and seen you do really well. So now everyone else can have a new person to keep their eye out for.
Oh, one more person I forgot. Blessed Individuals. They're actually boxers that also sponsor me. So I want to thank them too, and I want to thank Sport for this interview. I really appreciate it. And follow me on Twitter at TheSavage, TheSavage 125, and the same one on Instagram. Thanks a lot, guys.
Awesome. Thank you.